Hi, friends. Day 4 of Vacation Bible School was a huge success. I'm coming to you from outside of the hospitality area where teen and adult volunteers can come and have a little bit of food and a little bit of rest throughout the morning. I chose this spot because our Bible story today has to do with feeding people. Wait a minute. All of our Bible stories this week have to do with feeding people. We're having a food truck party after all. Well, this one comes from the New Testament. Jesus and the disciples are in the region of Galilee around the time of the Passover, and a huge crowd, 5,000 men plus women and children, was gathered to hear him teach. He asked one of his disciples, Philip, how he thought that they could feed that many people. Philip could not imagine an affordable solution to that problem. Now, another disciple, Andrew, found a young boy who had brought 5 pieces of bread and 2 fish in his lunchbox that day. That was it. But that was more than enough for Jesus. Jesus instructed the disciples to have everyone sit down on the grass, and he took the bread and the fish, he blessed it, and then he distributed it to the crowd. And when everyone had received enough to eat, Jesus had all of the disciples gather up the leftovers so that nothing would go to waste. And when they did, they ended up with 12 baskets full of food, all from just a few loaves of bread and a couple of fish. Once again, God had provided in a miracle involving food. Now, notice how Jesus involved the disciples in this miracle. First, he enlists Philip in the problem-solving process. Now, Philip can't fathom a solution to feeding that many people, but Jesus invites him to face the problem head on. Next, Jesus works with the food that Andrew and the young boy had brought. Both the youth's offering of the food and Andrew's receiving of it were instrumental acts in this miracle. And finally, Jesus asked all of the disciples to help gather up the leftovers when everyone was finished. This truly was a community event. Jesus had a crowd of more than 5,000 people right before him. The need was apparent, and Jesus performed a miracle that day. The need for food still exists today. People go hungry around the world and even right in our own county, even though there's enough food for everyone. The good news is that Jesus still enlists his disciples, us, to help feed hungry people. Just as Philip and Andrew and the young boy and the rest of Jesus' disciples helped Jesus feed the multitude that day, the church can work together to provide food for people who need it. When we pray, by God's hands we are fed, we are not only acknowledging that everything, including our food, comes from the hand of God, but we're also reminding ourselves that we can be God's hands in the world and help to feed others. And there's plenty to go around. Thanks for listening, and enjoy these pictures from Vacation Bible School. I'll see you again tomorrow.
Everybody ate their fill.